Poker has three main uncertainties, which really beautifully reflect the main uncertainties that we deal with in life. There are our opponent's whole cards, the cards that are face down. This represents the things about the current situation that we don't know, can't see, don't have knowledge of. The second uncertainty is the cards to come. This represents the uncertain future with which we all grapple every single day. And the third uncertainty is once we've made our decision, what will our opponent do? And this represents the actions of other people. One person in one of my sessions said that the uncertainties that he had to deal with were other people's honesty and competence. And I think in some ways that sums up business. You know, if everyone did exactly what they said they were going to do when they said they were going to do it, business would be completely unrecognisably different. So in poker, business and life, we are always dealing with uncertainty, and if anyone doubts that definition of a decision, that it is the allocation of scarce resources under conditions of uncertainty, just try and imagine for a moment a world in which you know everything. You know what the future is going to be, you know what everyone's thinking, you know what everyone is going to do. In that world, there is no decision to make. There is no agonising over which chocolate bar to have or how to get to work or how to motivate this person because you know all the answers. However, you do in that situation need to know what you want to achieve by your decision. And that is a concept that we'll come back to at the end of this session. Right now, I'd just like to look very briefly at the cause of uncertainty. It's, I think, a really fascinating model that I've stolen from The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, that wonderful book by Stephen Covey. Some of you may be aware of it. You can see up on the screen on either side of me one big circle. This represents the circle of concern. That is everything in the world that we are concerned about. And Stephen Covey, in this 22 million best-selling book, draws an inner circle there, what he calls the circle of influence. We'll also call the circle of control. That is the subset of things over which we have some degree of control, obviously. And Covey says that everything in the world falls somewhere in those two circles. Some of the things that we're concerned about we can control, but many of the things we can't. And he makes a beautiful and elegant point, which is that effective people focus slap bang in the centre of their circle of control. Because by doing that, hey presto, their circle of influence or control gets bigger as a result. However, there is a point that he makes in that chapter that is very often lost when people communicate, translate, and talk about it. And that is this. It doesn't matter how big your circle of influence gets, you will never, ever be able to influence and control everything. And in fact, I would argue that if you look at the sum total of things that you could possibly know and the sum total of things that you could possibly control in the world, actually, our circle of influence, however effective we are, is relatively small. There will always, always, always be some things that we cannot control. And a good word for those things, by the way, in common language is luck. Luck, actually, when we think about it, is that which we cannot control. We need to accept it. We need to relax and just understand that that is the way the world works.